Hello and welcome to the Below the Double Yellow Cup Series playoffs. Live tonight from Richmond for the VSPEED 200. Right here live on VSPEED. Drivers towards the end of the practice session here tonight. Eric GALLIEN on your screen, that 33 car. He's been fastest by over a tenth in the practice session. He leads the Vincent brothers in terms of speed and looking to put on a good show here tonight. But the short track here in Richmond, Virginia. Richmond Raceway is our host to the event tonight. 200 laps in tonight's race, 150 miles for drivers to settle the score and see who comes out on top here with the victory. Race 18 of 20 this season, and we are in the playoffs. As you see, Ryan Gemmel get turned there, and a bunch of playoff drivers involved in that practice accident. But drivers looking to try and advance to the championship round. Let's take a look at the point standings coming into tonight's race. Nick Starling, your winner from 2 weeks ago at Kansas. He has locked himself in to the championship round, and what an effort he put on in that race to capture the victory. And AJ Stravato, with his 7 wins this year, in second position in the points, by nature of Nick winning. But he is in pretty good shape in terms of points. And then it's much closer when you go back down to Eric Hutton and Seth Hatchell. Hatchell just a few points above the cut line. And below the cut line right now, the Vincent brothers, Alan Dice and Ryan Gemmel, all trying to fight their way in here tonight. And right now, Ryan, 6th fastest on the board. Jeremiah and Josiah, Josiah is 2nd, Jeremiah is 3rd on the board right now. And then Seth Hatchell, who's right above the cut line, he's 10th. Alan Dice is currently 14th fastest as the drivers wrap up the practice session and going to start qualifying here in a moment. But a very difficult racetrack to master. Short tracks using the 750 horsepower package require a bit more driver skill to get around the corners. Got to be patient on the brakes here. Very easy for the back end to kick out under braking. So let's take a look at the qualifying times as they start to come up here. A few names making early starts in their below the double yellow careers here. Chris Samard, once again, going to be out in tonight's race. He raced at Kansas 2 weeks ago. And we've got a number change as well. I believe the 13 now going to Mark Emerson, who made a start in the practice race here a week ago. And in the practice race that these guys held, the recruitment race, we saw some really good speed from Eric GALLIEN, who's also very good in practice. As you see, Eric Lambert here struggling to get that car under control. We'll jump to Josiah Vincent as he rolls onto the racetrack. Let's take a look at the track conditions here tonight. 69-degree air temp, 71-degree track temp. And thank you, Not Your Average Noah, for the subscription. Appreciate that. Hope you enjoy the broadcast here tonight. As we'll actually go on board here with Josiah. And that track temp, as we were talking about it, definitely going to be cool enough for there to be plenty of grip. But these cars are a handful around this track. As you can kind of hear the back end lose traction there for Josiah as he goes fastest on the board with the 21:47. And the question will be, can Eric GALLIEN match his speed from practice? As right now it's Lyle Sulfridge 2nd fastest. Seth Hatchell getting out on the racetrack looking to start his hot laps here. And Josiah Vincent improved on his lap time, a 21.209. Ryan Gemmel goes to 2nd now with a 21:31. Very good lap times from both of those drivers. And Hatchell on the racetrack now looking to try and get up there with his teammate up in the top 5. And Hatchell through turns 1 and 2. Nice smooth exit there. So easy to lose the traction. And under braking here, so difficult to get in quickly while not having the back end slip out from underneath you. Hatchell across the line at 21:26. That'll be good for 2nd fastest in the number 8 VSPEED machine. Let's take a look at Eric Gallion, who's bringing it out on the racetrack. Fastest in practice, very quick in the recruitment race last week. So I look for big things here from the Red Bull machine. Eric Gallion down the backstretch, headed into turn number 3. The 33 up wide. Looks like he's going to try and set himself up well for lap number 2. As across the start-finish line of 64, 21.64. That'll be good for 9th fastest rather. And looking to improve on that here on lap number 2. Nice and smooth out of turn 2 into turn 3, really deep into the braking zone. See, gets right up to that yellow line. Smooth arc out of the corner of 21.145. That's going to be good for second. Is AJ Stravato, 7-time winner this season, sitting on the pole. The number 48 machine looking to add to that win total and guarantee himself to the championship round at Homestead. We see Safe Ferries. It looks like he's going to take a bit of a bogey lap here potentially. Now it looks like he's going to reset, and not sure if he's going to actually take a time. It's Joey Mines with a 21.83 looking to improve on that. A bit wide out of the corner there. He will not improve. So nobody else really attempting a time. 16 drivers with the lap times. As we also see Brandon Vasquez on the racetrack, another Red Bull machine. Bit of a zebra or kind of striped pattern going on there. It's just about 30 seconds until the drivers meeting, and it looks like everybody gonna wrap up their qualifying session. So we'll cut to commercial break right now, and we will be right back with your starting grid.
Welcome to VSPEED, your home for sim racing excitement, providing dramatic moments from iRacing and beyond. We offer broadcasting for leagues across iRacing with specialized packages to help grow your league and advertise your sponsors.
Shot at it, I think, and right now Stravato with that advantage. It's half a car length the difference between first and second going into turn 1. He gives the bumper to Connor Horn.
These two have gone all year to get to this point. Jacob Shorba drifting up the racetrack. They make contact. The 88 goes around. The 95 goes around. The 12 caught in it.
Our design team can help you create anything from paint schemes to sim rig parts with expertise in both 2D and 3D design with 3D printing capabilities. Looking to get into broadcasting yourself? We can help you design and operate custom overlays to make your stream look as professional as possible. Our team can create and manage custom merchandise sales for you and your team. Check out our shop to see what we have in stock and how we can create some awesome merch for you. Check out our race replays on YouTube or catch us live weekly on Twitch. Visit us at vspeedsim.com to see how we can help you on your iRacing journey.
I'm Jonathan Proper, CEO of Drops.com, and I'm here to give you the naked truth about laundry. Size does not matter when it comes to laundry. Let's start with jugs. It's big all right, messy too, and expensive. You know why? Lots of plastic, lots of water, shipped all over the country, from factory to warehouse to retailer. That's what you're paying for. It's a dinosaur, and we all know dinosaurs are extinct. Meet our imitators. This is your average detergent pod. It has 20 plus chemicals with names nobody can pronounce. Nice colors. I hope they don't stain. I know color doesn't clean. Would you take a bath in either of these? No way. That's why we developed Drops. Drops is dye-free, MPE-free, phosphate-free, animal cruelty-free. So free, it's freaking awesome. We make Drops with only 6 safe ingredients, certified by the EPA. Drops is tough on dirt, but gentle enough for baby skin. It's so gentle, I'm taking a bath in it. Doing laundry with drops is hard to up. One drop equals one load. Now, can we talk about my package? 100% recyclable. Manufacturing drops ourselves and distributing directly helps us cut out the middleman and reduce transportation costs. With delivery plans as low as $4 a month, the average family can save $100 a year. Hello? What are you saying? The cleanest clothes at the lowest price? You're damn right it's a great deal. Thanks for calling. Shipping is always free. You choose the product and plan that's right for you, and we'll drop drops at your door. The naked truth is that Drops makes laundry better and life easier. Every Drops counts, saving money, plastic, water, and time. So go to drops.com. The first one's on us.
VSPEED is proud to be partnered with Below the Double Yellow podcast, a podcast for NASCAR fans by NASCAR fans. Listen to Nick and Joe discuss all the latest on-track action, available on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. VSPEED is also proud to be broadcasting the Below the Double Yellow 2020 Cup Series, starting July 30th, Thursdays at 8:25 p.m. Eastern Time.
And back at the racetrack now, about ready to get things underway. Let's take a look at your starting lineup in the VSPEED 200 from Richmond. Doing stuff, thank you for the follow. Appreciate you tuning in and hope you enjoy tonight's race. Let's take a look at the starting grid. On the pole tonight, Mr. AJ Stravato, the number 48 car who's been so dominant this season. He's got 7 wins, looking to add to that and lock himself into the championship round at Homestead. Eric Gallion, also very quick. He'll be starting on the outside of row number 1 in the 2nd position. We've got the Vincent brothers on row number 2. Jeremiah Vincent rolling off 3rd, 4th position. It's going to be Josiah Vincent. Both of those drivers looking for a victory to lock themselves in to the championship round as well. And looking to climb into the top 4. Seth Hatchell currently comes into this race just above the cut line. He'll roll off 5th. Ryan Gemmel, bottom of the playoff grid. He'll be starting in the 6th position here tonight. Alan Dice needs some points. He comes in just 1 point in front of Ryan Gemmel. He'll be starting 7th here tonight. And Brandon Vasquez is going to start in the 8th position. Michael Newman rolling off 9th here tonight. And Lane Solfridge is going to be starting in the 10th position. Dennis Steele rolling off 11th. Lyle Solfridge will be starting in the 12th position. Timothy Emanuele starting 13th. Joey Mines is starting 14th. Eric Lambert starting 15th, and Brett Sommers is going to be starting 16th. Eric Hutton rolling off 17th. He's been good on the short track, so keep an eye on the 77 machine tonight. Mark Emerson going to be rolling off from the 18th position. Chris Samard making his 2nd start to the series here tonight. He'll be starting 19th. Dallas Sullivan going to be starting in the 20th position. Safe Ferries, who's been very, very quick this year, not going to be taking a time tonight. He rolls off 21st. Zach Smith going to be starting in the 22nd spot. Nick Starling, winner at Kansas, he'll roll off 23rd. And Thomas Brendel going going to be starting in the 24th position. That's going to do it for the field here. 24 drivers. And AJ Stravato, this purple car on the front row, he'll be the one to get us going for race 2 in round 3 of the Below the Double Yellow Cup Series playoffs. As the field works through turns 3 and 4, it's the 48 and the 33. Waiting for that green flag to fly. And there it is, green flag in the air, we're underway. For the VSPEED 200 here from Richmond Raceway. Cheer on your favorite driver in the chat, let us know you're out there and who you're rooting for. And we'll try and follow along with them throughout the race. As we're already coming around here on lap number 1, coming towards lap 2. And AJ Stravato going to lead that lap and get the bonus point for leading it. Let's take a look at the ticker here. As they've gone pretty much single file, it's AJ Stravato, Eric Gallion, Jeremiah Vincent, and then Seth Hatchell. As we've got to stack up a bit farther back behind Brandon Vasquez, who gets loose out of turn number 2. 3 wide right now with Eric Hutton in the middle. Chris Samard finds his way through there as well. Safe Ferris almost gets tagged as Brandon still trying to get that car under control. As they cross the start-finish line, he will drop all the way to 22nd with only 2 cars behind him. Oh, we've got a car bouncing off the wall. That's one of the Sulfridges. Lyle Sulfridge into the wall. The number 70 really hit it. Let's take a look at that. Big contact there. He nearly gets into Eric Lambert and Eric Hutton as Lambert goes way up the racetrack following that. And he'll get passed up by the 77. So a lot of action here right inside the top 15. But at the front, it is all AJ Stravato. 4 laps down. Lap number 5 goes up on the pylon. And he's being chased right now by Eric Gallion, Jeremiah Vincent, and Seth Hatchell. Josiah Vincent losing some positions. He goes from, I believe, the 4th starting position. He loses 1, and he'll be in 5th right now. Ryan Gemmel trailing the top 5. He's in 6th. And then Alan Dice right where he started in 7th position, and he's got a nice big gap back to Michael Newman, who also has a pretty good margin to Dennis Steele, the throwback Haviland scheme. And he rides right now in front of Lane Sulfridge, who sits inside the top 10. Good run to start this for Lane Sulfridge. And he's going to move to the inside of Michael Newman, or of Dennis Steele rather. See if he can get this done out of turn number 2. Is a 28 way up the racetrack. He's going to hang on to the spot. And look at Safe Ferris. He's moving up already to 14th. He's right now behind Chris Samard, who's moved up quite a few positions. And Eric Hutton as well. Those 3 not taking a time in the session. Let's look at Eric Lambert way deep into the corner. Just barely gets that thing slowed up before getting it under control. And he is really struggling with putting the throttle down out of turn number 2. Got to be very delicate with the gas here. He goes to the inside of Zach Smith. Zach going to take away the 18th position. And Eric Lambert going to fall back to the 19th spot. And AJ Stravato still hanging on to that top spot. As they come across the start-finish line, they dive down into turn number 1. Eric Gallion just 2/10 behind. And that's really just about 1 car length at this racetrack. He is right there behind him as they make their way down the backstretch into turn number 3. He's having some blinking issues, however. Not exactly what you want to see from one of the leaders. Eric Gallion, definitely a very good showing in the first 10 laps so far tonight. But Stravato so smooth up there in front of him, he hangs on to the lead. Gallion continuing to have some connection issues. It's not too bad, but occasionally blinking out. And these top 5 really have spread out pretty good amount as we see, who's that, Dallas Sullivan on the apron. He's got heavy left side damage. What happened to Dallas? Spinning out of turn 2, slams the inside wall. No yellow flag being thrown as nobody was around him, but getting it looped back around as the leaders approach. He is going to go at least one lap down. But he'll fall back in line with the rest of the pack. As we've got a battle back there, Eric Hutton and Dennis Steele. Dennis going to fall out, or lose that position, not fall out of the top 10 just yet. But look at this, Timothy Emanuele, Safe Ferris side by side. Chris Simard behind them. He takes that position away from Mark Emerson. And Mark, I believe, one of the admins over at the Virtual Racing League, which we'll be bringing their next season to you, as Brandon Vasquez going around on the backstretch involving Thomas Brendel. No yellow flag, as once again really nobody around. Thomas, though, stuck on the inside wall. I think he's waiting for a gap to be able to back up, trying to get that thing pointed in the right direction, but he is going to lose a lap and then some as he tries to get it moving again. Green flag gonna remain in the air. Eric Gallion starting to lose a little bit of ground to AJ Stravato now. Jeremiah Vincent right there behind him. Just about a car length between second and third positions. And they will remain that way to the completion of this lap. But look at AJ Stravato. He's got some traffic out in front of him. That is the 19 of Vasquez, who had just barely... he's had some issues here in the beginning of this race. Tags the wall right there. Stravato, big slide out of turn 2. And Vasquez going to get right out of the way. But look at the 33 of Gallion close up because of that 48's mistake there. Can't have too many of those or you will lose some positions. He now approaches the back bumper of the 14, Thomas Brendel. Brendel going to stay up high on the racetrack. No issue there. Very respectful to let the leaders pass. Seth Hatchell going to move on by. AJ Stravato now under more pressure with the 33 picking up the pace a little bit. About a half car length. Now 1 car length down the front stretch. Separating these two. Good battles up here. Is yellow flag going to fly the one of Zach Smith around on the backstretch. And that is going to bring out caution number 1. Let's take a look at what happened here to Zach. Racing it up side by side with Timothy Emanuele, the 39 machine. They dive down into turn number 1, side by side still, and approaching the back bumper of Dennis Steele. And Zach just up the racetrack, loops it around down here on the bottom, able to keep it out of harm's way. His teammate nearly runs into him, but he was able to lock it up. Starling able to avoid the incident, and wouldn't have mattered all that much for Nick. But you definitely want to have a good showing if possible. Even though he is advanced to from the win at Kansas, he's advancing to the championship finale. Still want to put on as good a race as you can, and it looks like Thomas Brendel going to stay out. I think Brandon Vasquez going to get the lucky dog here as Stravato leads the field down the pit road. He will pull into his box there. The number 48 machine has led the entirety of this race. And Eric Gallion has been on his bumper, though, for a good portion of it. So we'll see if that 33 can make something happen. As Timothy Emanuele stays out on the racetrack to try and lead some here. Nick Starling, Brett Sommers also staying out on the racetrack. We'll see if any of them bring it in. Doesn't look like it. As Stravato wins that battle off pit road, Eric Gallion going to be second. And let's see if we can get a word in with Eric here. Eric Gallion, this is Adam in the VSPEED booth. You got a copy?
Hey, Adam. Yeah, I got you.
Well, Eric, you're showing some really good speed here in the early going of this race. You were really fast in the recruitment race a week ago. Is there something about this track that you happen to like and works for you?
Yeah, you know, I really like short tracks when you feel like you can move away from people. I feel like it kind of gets me out of the mindset of the 1.5 miles or super speedways where you're just, you know, following the person in front of you. Here, it just feels like you're really rewarded for being smooth on the controls, smooth on the brake, and smooth on the throttle. And if you just take it easy, it translates to speed.
Yeah, and you definitely have quite a bit of that here tonight, keeping up with leader AJ Stravato for the entirety of this event. You know, what's going to be the key to a good finish here, you know, with the short track, close quarters sometimes, and lap traffic? What's it going to take to get it done here?
Yeah, it's going to be, you know, not taking risks until, you know, we have opportunities where we feel like they're going to come through for us, but it's going to be not destroying your tires. You know, if you're really scrubbing tires off, especially on the exit, scrub that right front, right rear. It's going to make the car really hard to drive and almost impossible to defend from behind. But if you do the opposite, you're just smooth in, take it easy on the brake pedal, you know, entering especially 3 and 4, not sending it deep every time, you're going to have the pace then to catch the leaders and be up front.
Awesome, Eric. Well, thanks for the insight. And anybody you want to give a quick shout out to before we let you get back to the racetrack?
Yeah, shout out to my wife and my 2 daughters who let me do this on Thursday nights and come race, and I know they're excited and cheering for me upstairs.
Awesome, Eric. Well, good luck out there, and maybe we'll talk to you at the end.
Thank you.
All right, that was Eric Gallion, the number 33. Some good insight there into what it's going to take to get it done here. Obviously, very good speed in tonight's race. He's kept up with leader AJ Stravato, but a little bit of a shakeup with these cars staying out on the racetrack. Top 3 remaining out. That is Nick Starling, Timothy Emanuele, and Brett Sommers, as looks like Timothy Emanuele with control of this restart, and we are back underway. Green flag in the air, and Nick Starling gets through the gears very well there. He's going to pull out to the front, and we saw Nick pull a little bit of strategy to get the track position at Kansas, and he's going to try and do that again right now as the field working out of turn number 2. Maybe a little contact with the wall for Josiah Vincent. So here comes AJ Stravato, going to put the pressure on. Nick Starling will lead the lap, but here comes Stravato, going to try and take it away down into turn 1. No contest at all. The 48 back to the point. And now Timothy Emanuele dropping. He goes back to 5th. Now going to lose that to Seth Hatchell out of turn number 4. And Ryan Gemmel, next one in line. He's going to try and take that 6th position away. He'll look to the inside here. So the no tire strategy is not working out just yet, but maybe hoping for a quick yellow or something here. But it looks like he just brushed the wall. And our top 2 back to the order that we were in, to actually the top 3, as Nick Starling now dropping to the 4th spot. He's going to try and fight off the number 8 car, but it's going to be a lost cause. And now here comes Gemmel looking to the inside. This will be for 5th position. And Nick a little bit loose there, maybe a little brush on the wall as well. So gotta be hoping for something to happen quickly here and then have the advantage on the tires. They do have a limited amount in this race, but the majority of drivers pitting there, so they're all on the same strategies. And I think maybe that's what Nick is trying to do, maybe save a set for late in this race, knowing that cautions can come at pretty much any time at a track like this. You're never really all the way separated from anyone unless the field gets really whittled down. Let's take a look more towards the back here. We've got a battle side by side, the 70 of Lyle Sulfridge, who we saw have an issue earlier on in this race. He tagged the outside wall. Eric Lambert struggling a little bit on turn entry here tonight. And they've got Zach Smith, who nearly spun out to bring out the caution. He's right there behind him, 21st position, looking to try and improve on that. New, fresh paint scheme on that race car, the yellow scheme. Really nice looking car, very simple but clean look. As now we've got 2 wide, 2 deep. And the Sulfridges side by side, the 70 and the 71. And it looks like Lane going to win that battle. He'll try and put the pressure on Brett Sommers, who stayed out under the yellow, and look at Eric Lambert loose off of turn 2. He tags the inside wall. So the struggles continue for the 3 car. The bit of damage now on the left side going to cost him some speed and a little bit of pride probably. But no yellow flag flying. The field continues on. AJ Stravato out in front, but Eric Gallien starting to close just a little bit, and it seemed like Stravato in the first run, he started to lose the rear tires a little bit. Maybe a little too strong on the brake bias. And Gallien started to reel him back in. As look at this, Safe Ferris all the way up from 21st to the 6th position. Definitely the biggest mover so far, but not too far behind him. Chris Simard, he's up 10 spots. Mark Emerson up 8 spots. And Eric Hutton, he's up 5 spots as well. So a lot of those your biggest movers in this event. Joey Mine's looking pretty good out here tonight. 11th position after starting in the 14th spot. That 20 car, a new paint scheme on that machine. It's got Napa and Mobile 1. He rides right around these guys who started towards the rear. Alan Dice slips up the racetrack. That's going to open the door for Chris Simard and Mark Emerson. Meanwhile, the top 3 have broken away by just a little bit over Seth Hatchell. And they are all about a car length apart. Hatchell about 3/4 of a second behind, but he leads Safe Ferris in 5th, Ryan Gemmel in 6th, and Josiah Vincent in the 7th position. Maybe a little bumper action going to happen here. Is Gemmel able to pull out about a car length and a half in front of Josiah Vincent? I think Ryan's starting to lose a little bit of pace here. He was about a tenth slower than Josiah last lap, but was getting passed up by Safe Ferris, who continues to climb through the field. So only 1 yellow flag so far, a 5th of the way through the race, and look at this battle at the front of the field. Stravato leading. He's led nearly every lap in this race, 34 out of the first 39. The only time anyone's led other than him was Nick Starling, and the 39 of Timothy Emanuele with the pit cycle and the pit strategy. But AJ has led basically every green flag lap that there's been. And he's trying to hold off these hard chargers behind him, the 33 of Gallion and the 9 of Jeremiah Vincent, who has a very good run going. He's been right up here in the mix the entire race as well. Nose to tail now for second. The 33 of Gallion lost a little bit. He brushes the wall headed into turn number 3, trying to get the widest arc possible. And looks like he might be losing touch with the 48 just a tiny bit. But still within striking distance, only a couple car lengths really. And now that gap gets cut down to 1 car length out of turn number 2. Looks like he's very good on turn entry, but the exit, he is starting to struggle just a little bit. As the 9 of Jeremiah Vincent really pulls him back in, and Seth Hatchell is starting to close. I think he sees that 44 in his mirror. We all know how aggressive Safe Ferris can be. That's how he's made his way up here. Those 16 positions gained in the first 44 laps. He's only got a few more to go before he gets to the front. Definitely very quick here tonight. Last time by faster than the top 3, and so was Seth Hatchell. He was actually fastest car on the racetrack as the 39 of Emanuele brushes the wall right in front of the leaders. And he has some nose damage, now some left side damage. And your leader, Eric Gallion, at the line, trying to make the pass on AJ Stravato. Was there contact between Stravato and Emanuele? Let's go back and take a look. Oh, I see what happened here. The 48 coming out of the turn, actually going down into turn number 1. The 33 makes the move. They were 3 wide with the lap car of Timothy Emanuele. The 48 backs out of it, and that's how Gallion pretty much had the lead, but the 48 with the run, he's able to take it back overall, and GALLIEN leads a lap but not able to hold on to it. And Stravado really wheeling that thing to get it back to the point. That little bit of a battle, that's allowed Hatchell to close in another couple of tenths, and he is right there. You can see Safe Fair is not far behind him as well, so the top 5 starting to close back up. And then we've got a smaller group of cars back behind them. Ryan Gemmel in front of Josiah Vincent, but then you've got the 39 of Emanuele, who's a lap car, and then Chris Samard leads this kind of third group. The 37 in 8th position, Emerson in 9th, and Eric Hutton in the 10th spot. All 3 of those cars coming from towards the rear after not taking qualifying times, so definitely speed being shown from those drivers, and the question is if they can get up there and challenge for the top spot. We got Hatchell 8 cheering on Seth Hatchell, number 8, who rides in that 4th position. Seth looking for a good points night, possibly a win. He's shown some speed at the short tracks this year. And he's got those top 3 right there in front of him. He is up 1 spot overall. Now the battle for second happening right there out his windshield. Eric GALLIEN up high, able to hold off Jeremiah Vincent for the moment, but Vincent still underneath. Looks like GALLIEN going to surrender the spot and move Jeremiah Vincent up to second. Good run. Jeremiah had a shot at it at Kansas as well. He's backing up that run tonight here at Richmond. About a quarter of the way through, and he is up here in the mix. Some good racing. Looks like Safe Fair is starting to fall backwards. Maybe the tire's losing some grip on the 44. I think he might have made some contact with the outside wall. Potentially. I don't see damage, I don't think. Maybe a little crinkle on the right front fender. Yeah, just a little brush there on the outside, but not much. But every little bit of damage might have some steering issues. If he hit the wall at the right angle. Right now in the 5th position, and Gemmel has closed back up. These guys riding about 3 seconds behind your leader. If you're enjoying the race, please consider following or subscribing, as we've got a pass now as Gemmel moves up to that 5th position. And Josiah Vincent going to look to the inside and try to take over 6th from Safe Ferris. But as I was saying, if you're enjoying the broadcast, please consider following or subscribing. Really helps us out a lot. We're trying to get up to the 500 follower mark. And you can also check us out on all of these social media outlets, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, if you're interested in keeping up with what we're doing throughout the week. Now that pass completed by Josiah Vincent to move him to the 6th position. You can check out race replays on our YouTube at VSPEED Sim, and we also have a second channel up now, VSPEED Garage, which is going to bring you some great real-world automotive content. So if you like that kind of stuff, like repair videos or interesting cars, check them out at VSPEED Garage. At the front of the pack, the lead starting to shrink again for AJ Stravado. Jeremiah Vincent has closed it down just a bit. He was about 6 tenths back. Now that gap around 4 tenths. You see him go really deep in the corner there. Kind of missed the apex a little bit. And Eric GALLIEN starting to fade a little bit, now back to about a second behind Seth Hatchell, who was closing, no longer catching up to the top 3, but he is gaining on GALLIEN, but not to the first 2 drivers. Ryan Gemmel now moving to 5th. He needs as many points as he can get, entering 20 on the outside of the cut line. And maybe an issue. Oh, Safe Ferris moves the car onto the pit lane. And he will start the pit cycle right at about a third mark of this race. Or a little bit early, rather. AJ Stravato going to come around here, put him a lap down. So this is going to be interesting. We've seen Safe kind of burn the stuff up, try the early pit strategy, and we've seen that burn him as he starts rolling off the pit lane here. 14.8 seconds stop. We'll see if anybody else selects to come down anytime soon. But Stravato diving down into turn number 1, and Safe Ferris, he is about a straightaway ahead, but a lap down already. So he's going to need something to happen, or not happen rather, for this to work out for him. As Eric Lambert getting passed up, he was a little bit off the pace there for a second. Nobody else bringing it to the pit lane just yet, but this battle for the lead starting to heat back up. Stravato leading. He has led a good portion of this race, 58 laps out of 64. And look at that, the 9 car of Jeremiah Vincent right to the back bumper out of turn 2. Jeremiah started 3rd, but he has paced himself, stayed out of the action, and starting to close that gap. But the 48 pulls him a little bit down the front stretch here. As they are approaching the lap traffic, that's Joey Mines. Tail end of the lead lap, in the 71 of Lane Sulfridge right there in front of him. Joey was up right around the top 10, but he has faded as we've got a car spinning. That's the 32 of Nick Starling, who stayed out under the last yellow flag, and he is going to be the cause of the second yellow flag in tonight's race. Let's go take a look at what happened to Nick. It caused him to lose control there. So just coming down the back stretch here, all by himself. Goes into turn 3 pretty deep. And then just a bit loose out of the corner, a little hard on the throttle, loops it around. No contact with anyone or anything as he gets it pointed back in the right direction. But he is going to go a lap down. He'll be on the tail end of the lead lap and won't get the lucky dog. That'll actually be Eric Lambert who gets back on the lead lap. As your leaders just pulling into their boxes. Stravato nicely in his stall. And we've seen AJ have some issues with speeding, but trying to get a view of the pit lane here, see who wins that battle off. No issues with speeding this time, as it looks like Gallion second. Seth Hatchell beats Jeremiah Vincent out. So Hatchell will move to the 3rd position after that pit cycle. We are going to cut quickly to a commercial break, and we'll be right back.
Welcome to VSPEED, your home for sim racing excitement, providing dramatic moments from iRacing and beyond. We offer broadcasting for leagues across iRacing with specialized packages to help grow your league and advertise your sponsors.
Shot at it, I think, and right now Stravato with that advantage. It's half a car length of difference between 1st and 2nd going into turn 1. He gives the bumper to Connor Horn.
These two have gone all year to get to this point. Jacob Shorba drifting up the racetrack. They make contact. The 88 goes around. The 95 goes around. The 12 caught in it.
Our design team can help you create anything from paint schemes to sim rig parts with expertise in both 2D and 3D design with 3D printing capabilities. Looking to get into broadcasting yourself? We can help you design and operate custom overlays to make your stream look as professional as possible. Our team can create and manage custom merchandise sales for you and your team. Check out our shop to see what we have in stock and how we can create some awesome merch for you. Check out our race replays on YouTube or catch us live weekly on Twitch. Visit us at vspeedsim.com to see how we can help you on your iRacing journey.
VSPEED is proud to be partnered with Below the Double Yellow podcast, a podcast for NASCAR fans by NASCAR fans. Listen to Nick and Joe discuss all the latest on-track action, available on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. VSPEED is also proud to be broadcasting the Below the Double Yellow 2020 Cup Series, starting July 30th, Thursdays at 8:25 p.m. Eastern Time. And back at the racetrack now, about to get things going once again. Quick recap: 2 cautions, 7 lead changes, and on the front row here for this restart, familiar faces AJ Stravato, Eric Gallion, and now a new contender in the 3rd position, Seth Hatchell, able to leapfrog Jeremiah Vincent in the pit cycle there. And back underway, green flag in the air from Richmond for the VSPEED 200. Who is going to take it home here tonight? Getting close to the halfway point. AJ Stravato showing the strength he has shown all season long, but can he keep it up on a long run? We've seen cars kind of come and go throughout this race. And Nick Starling, who brought out the last yellow flag, he ended up bringing it down pit lane, so he is in the lucky dog position right now, but 1 lap down. Gonna be hoping for another caution, and he's gonna get it. His teammate off the wall, Zach Smith, hard hit into the inside barrier, and he's gonna take it straight to the garage. Zach Smith bringing out a caution right here on the restart. Exactly what his teammate needed, but I'm sure that is not what he meant to do. Take a look here at what happened to Zach, who has been struggling. He brought out the first caution of the race by getting a little bit squirrely on the backstretch, and he was able to save it ultimately. But this one, he does not save it. Just out of turn 2, very much the same thing that happened, but he powers down a little bit too much, and Eric Lambert just barely avoiding him as that car sitting in the middle of the backstretch. Zach Smith going to be done for the race. He drops to the 23rd position now. The only driver behind him, Thomas Brendel, who sits 3 laps down, but is still out there running, and that's going to help out Nick Starling. He'll get a position and the lucky dog as he goes around the outside now. And he does have an extra set of tires, I believe, compared to the rest of the field, so Nick kind of in a good position here. His cautions are flying at a little bit of a faster pace right now than they were in the opening bit of this event. But cautions breeding cautions. Those fresh tires can be very tricky on the short tracks with the 750 horsepower package. As we work under the yellow flag. Let's see if we can bring somebody else up here. Maybe Mark Emerson. See if he's in the chat here anywhere. Mark Emerson, this is Adam in the VSPEED booth. You got a copy?
Got ya.
Well, Mark, you started towards the back of this field tonight. You've made your way up here in the top 10. Looks like the car's pretty quick. How's it feeling for you?
It feels great. After that last restart, though, the car just felt significantly different. I don't know if it was because we got fresh tires on it or the track changed, but the car feels like it's rotating a lot more, so I feel even quicker than before.
Yeah, and we just saw a car over-rotate to bring out that yellow flag. We've seen people get a little bit loose and you've had to navigate your way through the traffic. What are you doing differently that's helped you get through the field here?
I was just locked to Chris's bumper for most of that and just let him do all the work for me.
Yeah, kind of letting him clear the hole and you follow him through. That's a good strategy at a track like this. But just coming towards the halfway mark, what's your goal here? This is your first start in the series, I believe.
Yes, it is.
What's your goal here to try and get the victory tonight?
Not sure yet. We'll see how it plays out. I'm sure there's gonna be some more cautions. Hopefully I don't get caught up in anything. Just keep the car clean, stay up, hopefully within the top 5, get there pretty soon.
Yes, sir, and you're doing a good job of that so far. Looks like you guys are probably going to be going back green here pretty soon. Anybody want to give a quick shout out to before we let you go racing again?
Give a shout out to AJ, Eric, Jeremiah, Josiah, Lane, and Lyle.
All those guys in the group chat there. But
Yep.
good luck out there, Mark, and maybe we'll talk to you at the end.
See you then.
All right, that was Mark Emerson in the number 13 machine making his first start here. Put him back down in there with Vincent Motorsports. Looks like he's in the chat with those guys. Having a good run here. He's up to 7th position after starting back in 18th, and he has pulled in front of Chris Samard and Eric Hutton as well, so doing a good job. Green flag back in the air. Good restart for AJ Stravato, and now 2nd place. Eric Gallian under fire from Seth Hatchell. The 8 car going to go low here. Can he complete the pass out of turn 2? Such a hard pass to make, but he's going to remain side by side, and Gallian not going to have quite the pace up high, but Seth can't quite use the entire track, but he is going to clear the 33 of Eric Gallian. So Seth Hatchell moves into 2nd position, and right there behind him, Jeremiah Vincent. Now he looks to the inside. Gallian really losing out because of the starting position on the outside lane, trying to clear himself in front of Josiah Vincent. That did not work. He's still struggling to get down in line here. It's going to be a hard time as everybody pretty much nose to tail. Mark Emerson gaining a spot. He passes up Ryan Gemmel, who's in kind of the same situation. Maybe Gemmel gets a little break from his teammate Chris Samard. Chris a little bit up the racetrack there. Oh, almost contact. They make some contact. They go. The 16 goes around Gemmel. T-boned by Michael Newman, and Gemmel, who comes in at a deficit in points, he's going to have serious damage. Man, what a heartbreaker for Ryan Gemmel, who was showing pretty good speed at a track that he does not consider one of his best. And he's going to be caught up here. Teammate Chris Samard getting into the side of him. Let's go take a look at what happened here out of turn number 4. Not sure. May need to go to a bit of an overhead camera, as they were pretty close side by side. I thought Chris was maybe going to let Ryan in here. Chris just gets into the corner a little bit deep, doesn't quite get the turn down, gets on the throttle, and then a little bit of a contact there with the left rear, and then Ryan gets a big hit from Michael Newman. Joey Mines involved as well. Not sure if anyone else was involved in that. Eric Hutton just narrowly avoiding it. Alan Dice, big contact there. So the 57, another playoff contender, who's in a very similar situation to Ryan. They come in 19 and 20 points out, respectively. And man, big damage for both of those cars. Gemmel doesn't even have the rear clip on that race car anymore as he pulls it into the pit box. And definitely disappointing for those two cars that started right next to each other. They're both involved in the incident. And AJ Stravato loving what he's seeing. He's been able to lead a ton of laps here and looking like he's on his way to most laps led if things continue as they have over the last bit here. We had a nice couple green flag runs to open this thing up, and second caution came out, and it has been a caution fest since then. 3 pretty much back to back. Zach Smith still sitting on the pit road. I think he's probably done for the night. He's been on the pit road for over 7 minutes. Nick Starling, who brought out caution number 2, he's on the pit lane. And just putting on another set of Goodyear Eagles. He'll roll out of the pit box and right now scored in the 20th position. But might be able to gain a couple spots here from these damaged race cars. Michael Newman entering the modified class. No front end on that machine. As those damaged race cars going to bring it back down. Looks like Joey Mines. He's also in that that modified class. It looks like that car pretty well damaged, and I believe they can put the front clip back on, so we might see that happen. But it may take a bit of time on the pit lane, which can't really get much done here with the short caution laps, only around 52 seconds. So we're going to cut quickly to a short commercial break before we take the green flag, and we will be right back.
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
AJ Stravato going to lead us back to the green flag. Most of the field staying out, and we are back underway. Good restart for the 48. Hatchell under pressure for second, but he is going to be able to clear Jeremiah Vincent down into turn number 1. Hang on to that spot now. The battle is on for fourth with Josiah Vincent and Eric Gallion. Josiah almost brushing the wall there. Here comes Mark Emerson trying to push his way into the top 5. I think Chris Samard may have gotten an end-of-line penalty there for causing the yellow, as he is back to the 16th spot. And the early contact between Mark. Oh, we've got beating and banging the 28 bouncing off the wall. That's Dennis Steele. Able to get it gathered back up, but that car, a bit of left front damage now. Let's take a look at what happened. He looks like he was side by side with Timothy Emanuele. The 44 Safe Ferris in the picture there. The 19 down low, 28 hits the wall, hits the 19, and they collect it back up. But there's still some battling going on back here, the 28 and the 57. How about Ryan Gemmel? Still hanging tough up here. He's 18th, trying to keep that car as clean as he can here and just muscle it out for the remainder of this race. What looked to be a top 10 run might not end that way, but maybe with a bit of perseverance and maybe some unfortunate circumstance for other drivers, it might just end up that way. But he's got to worry about somebody on the outside of the cut line winning the race. It really hurt his chances of advancing. Right now, AJ Stravato, who is pretty much a lock as is, 40 points up on the cut line. He is leading this race, dominating it so far, and looking like he could be on his way to victory if things stay as they are. But still over half the race to go, and Seth Hatchell not really letting him get out too far. He's hanging tough, about 0.3 of a second. Jeremiah Vincent looking on to try and challenge for second, and he is going to look low. Not going to make it happen, though, as Hatchell shuts the door out of turn 2. And they'll remain second and third. And Mark Emerson up to that 5th position. He was able to get around Josiah Vincent. Mark was also very quick in the recruitment race that was held a week ago. And looks like they wanted to pull him up into the series. And right now, running in the top 5 after starting towards the rear. Josiah Vincent, nice strong run in 6th tonight. Eric Hutton on the inside of the top 4 in points. He rides 7th right now, and kind of thought Eric would maybe have an even stronger run than this, seeing how well he ran at New Hampshire and some of the other short tracks. But he has not had quite the speed to win just yet, but still plenty of time to figure something out. Just had to mute myself. We've got some police sirens going off, or maybe fire sirens. Didn't want too much of that sound leaking into the broadcast here, but look at this awesome view, this almost crank it up type camera as these guys work their way around the racetrack. AJ Stravato leading a line of cars, single file, all the way back to Safe Ferris in the 8th position. Maybe a little sliding going on there, and you can hear the tires kind of starting to scream out. Eric Gallion, a bit of a wiggle out of the corner there. He's going to lose some momentum. So we go back to our traditional camera here. Stravato, a 2-car length lead over Seth Hatchell. And then Jeremiah Vincent, Eric Gallion, Mark Emerson, Josiah Vincent, Eric Hutton. Hutton gets a tap from Safe Ferris, trying to hang on to it. And great save. He's only going to lose the 1 position. And look at Nick Starling, fresh Goodyear Eagles. Both he and Safe, and Nick is absolutely tearing up through this field. He's restarted on the tail end of the lead lap, and he is up to 9th position after driving past everyone else. And the battle is on back here. Chris Simard to the inside of Lyle Sulfridge, and then we've got a battle behind them. Alan Dice trying to climb back into the top 10. He's in 14th. Racing up with Dallas Sullivan, who is multiple laps down, or 1 lap down at least. And Eric Lambert 15th, Ryan Gemmel in 16th. He's been able to get around Timothy Emanuele and Michael Newman. But the 16 car, that car is definitely hurting. He's 10 seconds behind, almost a half lap to your leader, AJ Stravato, but Stravato under pressure from another VSPEED machine. This is Seth Hatchell in 2nd. So we've passed the halfway point. Who do you think is going to win this? Stravato's been dominant, but there have been cars that have been able to hang with him. So it might just take a mistake on pit road under braking. Could be a little brush of the wall. Anything can happen. Maybe even a tap from a car behind him. But comment in the chat who you think is going to win. As that time out of turn 2, Hatchell, not a great run. He's going to lose about a car length to the 48, but under braking, he's able to reel him back in just a bit, and out of turn 4 is where he's really been the strongest. But still about 2.5, maybe 3 car lengths separating them. And really only 1 car out of this race. We've got 23 still out here. Zach Smith's still sitting on the pit lane getting the engine replaced in that machine. And Thomas Brendel, though, 23rd, 3 laps down. Only 3 drivers other than Zach Smith off the lead lap, so 20 on the lead lap. And to recap here, in this first half of the race, we've had 4 cautions, 7 lead changes. Most of those being under the yellow flag, but AJ Stravato did lose the lead at one point to Eric Gallion. Gallion kind of struggling here in this midsection of the race. He was very, very fast right on the bumper of the 48, and he's now back to the 4th position. But AJ Stravato out in front. Seth Hatchell has closed that margin now down to 1 car length. And really putting the pressure on the 48. As AJ entering a bit higher, trying to get the run on exit. Looks like it works that time. I appreciate everyone who's tuned in here tonight. I want to thank you all for following, subscribing, and everything that you do to help keep content coming on this channel. And again, check out our social media links, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, to stay up to date with what we're doing throughout the week. And look at this, Seth Hatchell starting to lose ground. Now back to about a half second behind. He had closed up the margin, but Stravato, maybe he was just saving his stuff for a lap or two, as Mark Emerson and Safe Ferris maybe a little bumping going on. The 13 maybe losing a little bit of pace. Here comes the 44 of Safe Ferris, who's on fresher tires, 16 lap fresher tires. And he has moved up to the 6th position. And Mark, a little wiggle there out of 2. Hutton, a little brush on the wall. But when we get kind of spaced out like this, the runs have been pretty good. Very clean racing overall. Really, the only caution that we've had for contact was that last caution. First 3 were pretty much just self-spins. As Emerson, a big slide out of turn 4. I think Safe might go on the attack here pretty soon. He definitely has quite a bit of speed in that 44 machine. Looking at the inside here out of turn 2. I think he'll be there. Yep, he has position to try and make the pass. The 13 of Emerson going to just go up the racetrack and let him by. So Safe Ferris back to the top 5. Mark Emerson back to 6th. But again, a 16 lap advantage on the 44 for those Goodyear Eagles. As he goes to the inside, Thomas Brendel, the lap car up high. Going to go down another lap. That's 4 laps down now. And Hatchell has closed the margin back up, or had closed it up. He lost a little time there, but right around 0.3 of a second between those two. And then Jeremiah Vincent right there on his back bumper in the 3rd position. Take a look here just outside the top 10, a battle going on. Lane Sulfridge, Alan Dice. And Alan trying to salvage what he can after getting involved in the previous wreck. And he's going to go to the inside, 71, going to let him on past. And now the Sulfridge is here to battle it out. And Ryan Gemmel battling it up with Eric Lambert. As Lambert now moves to the 15th position. Gemmel trying to find a way around potentially. You can see that car really hurting on the straightaways. He's lost a ton of ground to Eric Lambert just on that one straightaway. And here comes Timothy Emanuele. I think Ryan maybe, he might have some issues with cooling on that race car if he has damage in the wrong spot. The nose not as much the issue. That back end definitely a big problem. And looking like he's probably down on power. Maybe the axle out of alignment as well. That can be very hard to drive. Let's actually go on board with him. You can see the 39 of Emanuele just drive right on past. He doesn't have a lot of rear grip, but it also just seems like it's plowing in the middle of the corner. And now Michael Newman to the back bumper. So that's 17th and 18th positions. Not the run that Ryan needed here tonight. and not the run that Alan Dice needed either. He had a good run going up inside the top 10. He's 12th right now, which is pretty solid after being involved, but really needed to be up there in contention to win this thing or a top 5. And the way that car looks right now, I don't think it's possible unless something kind of crazy happens here. But either way, got to give props to those guys for trying to run this thing out. And let's take a look up here. Nick Starling putting some pressure on Josiah Vincent. Nick on the fresher tires. Really putting those things to good use. Trying to get up here towards the top 5. Right now in the 9th position. Has led a couple laps in the race. Also spun out in this thing. Almost does it again. Definitely got to be careful on the exit of turn 2. We saw him spin out of turn 4 earlier. But up here in the top 10, definitely a solid run after what wasn't looking like it was going to end up being that way. Look at AJ Stravato now pulling a gap over Seth Hatchell. That lead up to about a second, maybe a little bit more than that, as Hatchell under serious pressure from Jeremiah Vincent. Jeremiah going to look low. Seth not going to give him the lane. He'll shut the door. And they will continue to ride second and third. Safe Fair is starting to get closer and closer to the number 33 machine. And Eric Hutton's starting to make some moves now. Up to 6th. He's cleared Mark Emerson for that position. Mark's starting to go the wrong direction. Drivers getting more and more spread out here, though. Not too many battles to speak of, other than the second place battle between Hatchell and Jeremiah Vincent. As Gemmel slow on the outside. Does he have a blown engine? Very well off the pace. Did he lose the motor down the front stretch here? He did. Ryan Gemmel's engine has expired. Disastrous race for the 16. He's going to have to win next week at Talladega. One of his favorite tracks, but man, that is not how you want it to go. You don't want to have to rely on that. And just an absolute disaster here at Richmond. What was looking to be a solid run, it's going to end up being right towards the back of the field. For the second week in a row, he has had the engine expire prematurely. And AJ Stravato out here dominating in the number 48 machine. He has led over 120 laps and continuing to pull away from the rest of the field. Seth Hatchell in second, left to deal with Jeremiah Vincent. These two about a second and a half behind, and the margin continues to grow. They will have to make a pit stop, I believe, before this is all said and done, if it goes far enough. Definitely big props to Eric Gallion, who rides up here in the top 5, one of his best runs of the season. Currently in the 4th position. He did lead a lap earlier on. He took it away from Stravato during a battle with a lap car and gave it right back up. Has not been able to get back up there since. But definitely more speed shown here tonight than he's shown in most races. And it's definitely a good sign. The track very difficult to drive. Safe Fair is kind of in the same boat. He's been very quick here on the wrong end of some pit strategy. As has been the case many times this year, he's climbed back up through the field and into the 5th position. The car looks pretty good as he brushes the wall. Eric Hutton in 6th. He's climbed through the field as well. 11 spots up. Mark Emerson, 11 spots up. Josiah Vincent, he's dropped a few positions here in the the middle section of this race. Nick Starling up 14 positions from his starting spot. And Chris Samard, who got a little bit of contact with his teammate, and put Ryan Gemmel eventually out of the race. We've got a car around. I think it's the 8 of Hatchell. Seth Hatchell sitting on the racetrack here, trying to get that car going. He backs it up a little bit. And this is not good for Seth Hatchell. As car's still trying to get on past him. He's going to bring it straight to the pit lane. Let's see what happened to Seth, who's driving or riding in the second position. We saw some good battling between him and Jeremiah Vincent. Headed down into turn 3, shuts the door. The 9 car doesn't back out of it. And ultimately sends Seth around driver's side into the outside wall. Hard hit for the 8 car. As he is going to get back on the racetrack. Didn't actually take tires or anything right there or get the car repaired. He was just bringing it down the pit lane to keep it in front of the leaders. And right now, tail end of the lead lap. Going to have to figure out what to do here for strategy. AJ Stravato going to win the battle off pit road. And right now, Seth Hatchell shown as your leader because of all of this. But he is yet to bring it down the pit lane. We'll see if he does that this time. He brings it to the apron, and he will bring it to the attention of his crew. Try and get some damage repaired and get that car back into competitive shape. But contact with Jeremiah Vincent sends Seth Hatchell around, and that's going to bring out caution number 5 on the night. And that's going to tighten things back up for that top spot. Going to be a little bit of a shake-up again through the standings, especially the point standings, with Hatchell now dropping to the back of the lead lap. But we are going to go quickly to a side-by-side commercial break, and we will be right back.
Welcome to VSPEED, your home for sim racing excitement, providing dramatic moments from iRacing and beyond. We offer broadcasting for leagues across iRacing with specialized packages to help grow your league and advertise your sponsors.
Shot at it, I think, and right now Stravato with that advantage. It's half a car length the difference between first and second going into turn 1. He gives the bumper to Connor Horn.
Jim, these two have gone all year to get to this point. Jacob Shorba drifting up the racetrack. They make contact. The 88 goes around. The 95 goes around. The 12 caught in it.
Our design team can help you create anything from paint schemes to sim rig parts with expertise in both 2D and 3D design with 3D printing capabilities. Looking to get into broadcasting yourself? We can help you design and operate custom overlays to make your stream look as professional as possible. Our team can create and manage custom merchandise sales for you and your team. Check out our shop to see what we have in stock and how we can create some awesome merch for you. Check out our race replays on YouTube or catch us live weekly on Twitch. Visit us at vspeedsim.com to see how we can help you on your iRacing journey.
And back at the racetrack now, 60 laps remaining. AJ Stravato out in front. Safe Fair is on the front row after a fantastic pit stop by his crew. Jeremiah Vincent going to go to the back of the line as we're almost 3 wide for second place. Headed down into turn 1. Safe Fair's big slide. Able to hang on to it, but that's going to stack him up just a little bit, and caution going to fly. Looks like towards the back of the pack, the 19 of Vasquez involved, as well as the 3 of Eric Lambert. So cautions, instantly breeding cautions. Let's take a look at what happened here. right, so I think I know what happened. It looks like the 19 you see on the outside there, he was starting to check up, seeing all the stuff that was going on. He gets tagged by Thomas Brendel. Jeremiah Vincent just getting through. Seth Hatchell getting some contact. Lambert getting turned around. Goes from bad to worse for Seth Hatchell. Let's take a look from his perspective. At the back of the field here, and you can see they were 3 wide there. 3 of Lambert. Hatchell just barely scrapes the 19. But how about Jeremiah Vincent just making it through here? This was good wreck avoidance, I think. Just barely misses the 19. At the front, though, that's going to allow AJ Stravato to stay in the lead. Joey Mine's going to bring it down onto the pit lane. Already a lap down. Going to go a second lap down, it looks like. Some heavy damage on that race car. And right now, only 2 race cars out of the event. That is Ryan Gemmel in the number 16 and Zach Smith in the 1 car. Right now in 23rd, 24th positions. And at the front, it's Stravato, who's led almost all the laps here tonight. Eric Hutton in 2nd, Eric Gallion in 3rd, Mark Emerson up to 4th now. Safe Ferris after the slide on the restart. He drops to the 5th position after restarting on the front row there. Chris Samard up to 6th now. Josiah Vincent up to 7th. Nick Starling in 8th. Alan Dice in 9th. And Lane Sulfridge round out the top 10. Jeremiah Vincent already up to the 12th position. Seth Hatchell has brought it back down the pit lane. Going to try and get some more damage repaired. And probably going to be right around 50 laps to go when we get going again. But pretty heavy left side damage. He's going to park it right there in front of his teammate, who is out of the car. And on pit road now for almost 10 minutes. Seth gets a bit of damage repaired there. Just a short stop, 9.6 seconds. No tires or fuel. As far as I can tell, just a bit more damage repaired. Space car lights will go off, actually, so short caution break here. As this race has been very interesting. When we've had green flag runs, they've been long runs, and then when we've had cautions, we've had pretty much cautions immediately after. But if we can break out of that cycle, you know, they are able to break out these great green flag runs, which is a lot of fun to see. Stravato's been very good on the long run, even with all the short run speed that he has. But now he's got Eric Hutton, who's hungry for a win here. He's got 2 this season, looking for more, but bad restart by the 77. That's going to put him under pressure from the 33 of Gallion. And Mark Emerson, Safe Ferris right there behind. Here goes Gallion to the inside. Can he complete the pass and move back into that 2nd spot where he has not been since early on in this race? Mixing it up with these playoff guys. Safe Ferris around on the front stretch. That's going to bring out a yellow. Yes, it does. As we've got cars spinning behind. That's Joey Mines also spinning separately. But Safe Ferris is right up there in the top 5. Loops it around on the front stretch. And just like I said, cautions breeding cautions. These guys having trouble getting it up to speed. These fresh tires, these cool tires, causing problems. As Safe was to the inside of Mark Emerson, not able to fully clear him. He dives it deep into the corner, and that car just gets a little bit unsettled riding behind the 33 and the 77. He loops it around. Not sure if there was contact with the 77. Nope, just lost it all on his own. Good save to keep it off the inside wall. And then Joey Mines. Let's see what happened to Joey here. He's in front of Brett Sommers, just coming out of the corner. Just loops it all on his own. Sommers able to avoid it. But two separate self spins out of the same corner. We would have had a caution for either one of those. But bringing out another one here. We're going to go to another quick commercial break. Just 50 laps to go in this thing. And we'll be back with the green flag.
VSPEED is proud to be partnered with Below the Double Yellow podcast, a podcast for NASCAR fans by NASCAR fans. Listen to Nick and Joe discuss all the latest on-track action, available on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. VSPEED is also proud to be broadcasting the Below the Double Yellow 2020 Cup Series, starting July 30th, Thursdays at 8:25 p.m. Eastern Time.
And back at the racetrack now, still under the yellow flag. I want to apologize if we're having some connection problems here. Just noticed that the stream's starting to have some issues. And we're going to try and quickly figure this out. So we will be right back.
Welcome to VSPEED, your home for sim racing excitement, providing dramatic moments from iRacing and beyond. We offer broadcasting for leagues across iRacing, with specialized packages to help grow your league and advertise your sponsors.
Shot at it, I think, and right now Stravato with that advantage. It's half a car length of difference between first and second going into turn one. He gives the bumper to Connor Horn.
These two have gone all year to get to this point. Jacob Shorba drifting up the racetrack. They make contact. The 88 goes around. The 95 goes around. The 12 caught in it.
Our design team can help.
And back to the race now, still trying to figure this out. We're going to go to the side-by-side view. You'll be able to see it while we have it up and going, but about 50 to go, a little less than 50. We'll be bringing up the overlay here in just a second. Sorry for the inconvenience, but AJ Stravato out in front leading Eric Hutton, and then Mark Emerson, Eric Gallion battling it out behind them.
Welcome to VSPEED, your home for sim racing excitement, providing dramatic moments from iRacing and beyond. We offer broadcasting for leagues across iRacing, with specialized packages to help grow your league and advertise your sponsors. Welcome to VSPEED, your home for sim racing excitement, providing dramatic moments from iRacing and beyond. We offer broadcasting for leagues across iRacing with specialized packages to help grow your league and advertise your sponsors.
Shot at it, I think, and right now Stravato with that advantage. And we've got it back up. I think we were having an issue with the internet here, so we'll try and get that figured out in the future, but currently just a throughput problem, not a performance problem with the computer. And I haven't had an issue in a while. It's been weeks, months probably, since we've had any type of an issue, but just about 40 laps to go. AJ Stravato, he has led so much of this race. Eric Hutton right there behind him, who's put on a great performance in the closing laps of this thing. And then Mark Emerson up to third. What a performance, what a drive by him. After starting in 18th, he's up to the third position. Behind him, Eric Gallion started in the second spot. He's been up here in the top 5 all race long in the 4th spot right now. And Chris Samard, who started outside the top 15 in 19th position, up here in 5th. How about this recovery from Seth Hatchell up to 8th position, right behind the driver who sent him around, Jeremiah Vincent, in the 7th spot. I'm sure he's got to be watching that mirror, knowing the 8 car is right there. And not too far in front of Nick Starling, who's had a pretty solid performance here in the 9th spot. And Sayfair's in 10th after spinning there to bring out the last yellow flag. And yep, the cautions aren't going to show correctly. I believe we had 6 or 7, and they have all been in pretty close proximity lap-wise. They just seem to stack on top of each other. As AJ Stravato showing the way, pulling a bit of a gap now over Eric Hutton. And really the fastest cars in this race, all having issues at some point other than AJ Stravato. We only saw Stravato get loose really one time. Saw him lose the lead one time and take it right back. And other than that, he has been absolutely dominant here. This 48 car has done this many times this year. 7 wins on the season and looking for more. As it looks like Brett Sommers with an issue. He's going to bring it to the garage. Not sure what's going on with the number 7. The front end absolutely destroyed on that car. He brings it to the attention of his crew. Bit of a battle back here between the Vincent brothers and Seth Hatchell. Starting to form up as the 4 car, about 2 car lengths in front of Jeremiah. And then Seth Hatchell right here, the 8th position, the 8 car. And just about 2-3 car lengths behind the 9. And Jeremiah a little bit out of the groove there. Seth really wheeling this thing, trying to get back up towards the top 5. Needs all the points he can get. His closest competitors in the point standings, those 2 right there in front of him. And Jeremiah and Seth were up there battling for second, made contact. Seth went around. He's climbed from the back of the field now. Just trying to keep his head on him, I think, and not make any stupid mistakes here. Just got to close this thing out, get as many points as possible. Eric Gallion up here, he's still putting pressure on Mark Emerson. Going to be 30 laps to go next time, and this driver's going to have to figure something out if they want to beat AJ Stravato. Eric Hutton, he's kind of reeled him back in just a tiny bit. He was about a second back, now up to about a half second. But Stravato has done this. He'll kind of let you claw yourself back up into contention, and then he just drives away again. And nature of being out in front, clean air is so beneficial. And also just driving smooth. He gets a little loose out of turn 4 there, though, but not enough to help out Eric Hutton. But now it looks like 77 reels him in by about a tenth there. He was a few hundredths faster. And then we'll see what the lap times are this time. About 7 hundredths, so definitely closing. That's a tenth over the last 2 laps. As the 3 of Eric Lambert slow, that's going to bring out a yellow flag. Eric Lambert wrecked on the backstretch. Let's take a look at what happened to Eric here. He was racing it up with Thomas Brendel. Thomas multiple laps down. They make contact. Eric, I think maybe came up into him, but man, hard hit on the inside wall. Let's take a look from this overhead view. Thomas didn't really come down, but the 3, I thought, or maybe thought he was clear. And Lambert gonna have heavy damage. He'll go a lap down. AJ Stravato gonna lead a group of race cars down the pit lane. See if anyone elects to stay out here and try and pull off some kind of a strategy with just about 25 to go. Lambert gonna keep it on the racetrack and maybe going to try and take a wave round? Or no, he is on the lead lap, actually. So let's take a look here. AJ Stravato wins the battle off pit road. It'll be Eric Hutton, Eric Gallion, Lyle Sulfridge. Maybe a speeding penalty. We'll see here. 2-tire stop. That's what it was. For the number 70, he finds himself in the top 5 right now. And Eric Lambert will bring it onto the pit lane. Good call by the number 3. Joey Mines going to take a wave around here. Looks like Thomas Brendel going to try and get one of his back as well. And Dennis Steele now brings it to the pit lane. Want to let you know you can get your own VSPEED merch on the VSPEED website, vspeedsim.com/merch, and we're doing a giveaway when we get to these follower goals on Twitter and Twitch. About 100 away now on Twitch and a little less than 50 over on our Twitter. So if you want to be eligible for the giveaway for any shirt or hat on our website, go follow on those platforms. And once again, want to thank everyone who came out to watch tonight. It's been a pretty exciting race. AJ Stravato has been the dominant race car, leading 168 laps after starting on the pole. Kind of a similar story to what we saw yesterday. Trevor Earhart winning the finale race for the Underdog Racing League at Texas. Very dominant performance in that one as well. And AJ Stravato really putting on a good show here. He, I believe he had a race of his own last night, the Winter Series. A few other drivers like Derek Justice, David Schildhouse, some streamers in that series. And AJ had an early run in that race and didn't get the finish that he wanted there, but trying to make up for it here with a dominating performance tonight. And really the wild card on this restart going to be the number 70 of Lyle Sulfridge on 2 tires up there in the 4th position. Could get messy. He'll be right in front of Jeremiah Vincent. who is in the 6th spot. As the field works out of turn number 4, pace car to the pit lane. Eric Hutton, pretty solid restart here. Eric Gallion going to look to the inside, though. Can he get position? Not going to happen, as we are 3-4 wide. Safe Ferris gets turned off the nose of Josiah Vincent. Nick Starling contact there, and lots of cars destroyed at the back of the field. Safe Ferris, big hits in the 44 as he gets that car righted. It was 4 wide. Michael Newman involved, 71 of Lane Sulfridge, and many others involved in this one. Let's take a look. The big one strikes here late. Let's see what happened. They kind of stacked up here in front of him. The 70, those 2 tires stacks him up. 4 car of Josiah Vincent gets into him. Nick Starling, the save down low. Thank you for the follow, I Deja Vu. Let's take a look here at Nick Starling's save on this one. He gets hit there in the right front, big save. A few other drivers involved, Eric Lambert just getting a piece of it. But man, these hits here is Josiah Vincent, man, and Alan Dice. Oh man, big hit for Alan Dice. That might just do his race as well, as he clobbers the 44. And then Josiah Vincent, that car enters the modified division along with many others here. This race has definitely had its highs and lows in terms of driving performance, let's say. Restarts have been crazy moments at points tonight, so that is going to be what you expect at a racetrack like this. Richmond either goes entirely green or it is a caution fest, and we've had kind of a bit of both. Cautions stacked on top of each other and long green flag runs to kind of split those up, but with not a lot of time left, people are going to start to get desperate for making up ground. Yes, pace car lights are still on. We're going to hear a quick message from below the double yellow, and we will be right back.
VSPEED is proud to be partnered with Below the Double Yellow podcast, a podcast for NASCAR fans by NASCAR fans. Listen to Nick and Joe discuss all the latest on-track action, available on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. VSPEED is also proud to be broadcasting the Below the Double Yellow 2020 Cup Series, starting July 30th, Thursdays at 8:25 p.m. Eastern Time.
Pace car lights are off. The field working out of turn 2 and headed towards a restart once again. And AJ Stravato in control here. Can Eric Hutton time the restart? Or will the 48 get another great jump? Looks like he will. As the 33 of Gallion got a good restart. He goes to the inside of Hutton. But Stravato with a problem. Gallion gets into him, and they stack up behind, cars wrecking throughout the field. Hatchell, heavy contact. He's destroyed as Samard got into Hutton, and man, what just happened? Two separate large wrecks as Stravato had a problem. Man, what a hard hit for Seth Hatchell. Let's keep an eye on AJ Stravato here. Your leader, as he brought the field to the green flag, gets up through the gears, no problem. Dives down into turn number 1 and maybe overestimates the grip that he has a little bit deep in the braking zone. Gallion tries to take advantage. They make contact. Hutton gets hit. The 37 involved, and Mark Emerson able to get through, but Seth Hatchell, I think that's going to end his night. Where is Hatchell in the scoring? As he got down to the low line, his teammate right there in front of him. The 77, the 37, he goes low, just not enough room, and he gets stuck in the inside wall. I think that may very well end the race for the number 8, but I want to see what happened even farther back. Looks like a massive pileup. Was Nick Starling the cause of this one? The 70 on those two tires. He gets into the 70, the 6 of Sullivan, the 39. Other cars scattering, going all over the place. Everybody makes it through back here, which is honestly incredible. Other than the 6 and the 39, nobody else hit the 70 as far as I'm aware. But two separate incidents. Eric Hutton getting into Chris Simard at the front, and then at the back it was Nick Starling getting into the 70 machine of Lyle Sulfridge. Hatchell continuing to race out here. He's 16th, but had recovered, was in the top 5, and man, it's just been an up and down night for so many drivers. Some of these guys who have been involved heavily in accidents are back up here in the top 5, and then other guys just kind of nowhere to go, and they've been up and down. But AJ Stravato, he's been a constant here at the front, and just over 10 laps to go. Looks like he could be on his way to win number 8 and locking himself in for good to the championship finale at Homestead, which is pretty much a guarantee no matter what happens from this point on. But you see Ryan Gemmel actually back out on the racetrack, and not sure he's going to be able to pick up any spots, but just for the sake of his pride, going to try and finish this thing out in the 23rd position. The only driver that's even relatively close in terms of laps is Brett Sommers, who is 33 laps ahead of him and just 10 laps to go. Not going to be able to make that up, but still good to get some more track time and just try and finish it out. That's a good mentality to have. Even if you can't gain the laps, just run it out. As we will have 10 laps to go. Eric Gallion now on the outside with damage. And we've got Chris Simard and Mark Emerson behind these front two, who Simard has some damage from that incident. Emerson, I think, has probably the cleanest car other than AJ Stravato on the racetrack, as they are stacking it up, trying to anticipate the start. Good restart by Stravato. Nobody else really keeps up with him on these, and he gets out to a pretty sizable margin. Simard going to the inside here. Can he make anything happen? And Emerson gets tapped by Jeremiah Vincent, and they're going to stack up there, and now the wreck happens again. Timothy Emanuele around, Gemmel involved in it, others involved. And Gemmel, who just had the nose put back on that race car, he's involved right away. That started with Jeremiah Vincent, his second bit of contact in this race. Let's take a look. And Jeremiah Vincent, the 9 car, there in the middle of the screen. He restarts behind Chris Simard. Simard goes in low on GALLIEN. And Mark Emerson gets in front there, and then they just pile up, and I cursed Mark Emerson for sure with what I said about that car being clean. Man, that car's destroyed now. He was up high, and there's already contact Josiah Vincent and the 39 of Emanuele, and then they were wrecking behind. The 70 of Sulfridge gets tagged, I think. He was up there on the outside. Gemmel gets punted by Brendel. Gets on the brakes, gets punted again. And Alan Dice caught up in it. Nick Starling was up there, but I don't know what Brendel was doing here. It's like he never lifted off the throttle. You can see the wreck kind of starting to happen up there. He's never quite got on the brakes there. '57 of Alan Dice, who's been able to avoid a good amount of things tonight. I mean, he has been in a couple incidents, but safe fare is big damage there. And Alan almost made it around that. The 16 of Gemmel bouncing off the inside wall. A bit of a mess here in the last little bit, but that is what happens at these short tracks. It either runs green to the end, or you get a few wrecks stacked on top of each other. We'll see what happens here as AJ Stravato continues to lead, and now up to 185 laps led. He'll come to 186 this time. And if he leads the rest of them, it'll be over 190 laps, which is absolute dominance. Completely deserves the win at that point. He's only lost the lead once during a green flag occurrence, and he got it right back. So the 48 car showing that form that we've seen all season long. 7 wins, looking for win 8, and looking to lock himself in to the championship 4. Let's give you a rundown of what the points were coming in once again. Nick Starling is advancing no matter what. He won at Kansas, so he is locked in. And AJ Stravato trying to join him here with a victory tonight. Eric Hutton currently riding in... Well, Hutton is on pit lane. He might actually be out of this thing. 21st position. And that is disaster after running up here in the top 3 late in this race. But Hutton... 21st. Seth Hatchell is 14th. Josiah Vincent currently riding in 6th. Jeremiah Vincent in 4th. Alan Dice now back to 19th, and Ryan Gemmel in 23rd. So maybe not going to be as much shaking up as I thought, but Eric Hutton definitely not the finish that he needs in this race. Coming in on the inside of the top 4, and now 5 to go. Going to be 4 to go. Good restart by Stravato again, and Eric GALLIEN going to drop down low. He'll get in front of the 37 of Samar. Does the 48 make the same mistake twice? Doesn't look like it. And now Eric GALLIEN going to have to try and chase him down, as we've got the Vincent cars, both of them in the outside wall there. And look at this, Eric GALLIEN trying to get there. 2, 3, maybe 4 car lengths now down the front stretch. 3 laps to go. AJ Stravato dominating race. Can he close it out here? It'll be 2 laps to go next time by. And look at this side by side. Mark Emerson, Josiah Vincent back there. Other cars. Dallas Sullivan up in the top 5 somehow. And yellow flag gonna fly. What happened here? The 32 of Starling, the 8 of Hatchell, and maybe others. Hatchell, Lambert involved, Nick Starling. Let's take a look at what happened here to bring out another yellow flag. Let's see what happened here. So we were 3 wide headed down into turn number 1, and trying to get a better view on this. Timothy Emanuele gets loose, turns Nick Starling, and off the wall go a lot of drivers. Looks like Safe Ferris tried to sneak through the middle of it, and ultimately that did not work out. As he gets into the 39, sends Hatchell up into the outside wall. Eric Lambert gets turned around. Thomas Brendel, they keep making contact well after the wreck. Let's take another look from the overhead here. The 70 of Lyle Sulfridge, able to mostly sneak through there. Yeah, big hit for Hatchell. That's probably going to end his night if it, well, let's see, actually. He's still driving out there. What looked like such a great race multiple times has just gone completely not how it appeared it would for Seth Hatchell. Nick Starling kind of in the same boat. He had opportunities, led a couple laps, was up in the top 10, spun. He's been involved in 3, 4, maybe even more cautions than that. Basically anybody towards the back now, though, has been heavily involved in multiple wrecks. And it'll be a green-white checkered to end this thing. I think we get unlimited attempts, or at least a few attempts. And who is going to come out on top? Can AJ Stravato continue to get these fantastic restarts? Or will Eric Gallion be able to time it just right? I wish I had an accurate recap. I think we're up to maybe 10 to 12 cautions, somewhere in that range. We had an issue with the overlay. I'm not sure we're still having the connection problems. I think that has figured itself out at this point. So again, apologize. That happened in the middle of the broadcast about 50 laps ago. But looks like everything kind of settled out now, and we've had 9 lead changes. That is an accurate count, and then anywhere between 10 and 12 cautions, like I've said. So it's been a bit messy here. This second bit of the race, we had a couple great long green flag runs, and thought that was going to be the way this race went, and we've had multiple self spins to kind of stop those and then kind of stack up those yellow flags one after another, and we are here at the conclusion of this thing. Going to be a green-white checkered, and like I said, AJ Stravato in control. Can he time this just right? Can Eric Gallion somehow figure something out and keep up with the 48? But Stravato, if we get enough of these green-white checkers, he might end up leading over 200 laps. And he gets a good jump there. Gallion spins the tires. Here comes Jeremiah Vincent to the inside. He's going to try and challenge for the second position. Gallion up high. Going to fight him for that spot. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to hang on to it now. The 9 car up to second, but he's got a long ways to go. And AJ Stravato coming towards that ever-elusive white flag. White flag, but no surrender. AJ Stravato, 1 lap to go to lock himself into the championship. Here comes Jeremiah Vincent. Look at the send into turn 1 and 2. He's now within a car length and a half. Can he get to the back bumper of the 48 and make something happen? Stravato, though, too far away. He's going to win at Richmond and lock himself into the championship finale. AJ Stravato wins the VSPEED 200, 197 laps led after starting on the pole. Doesn't get more dominant than that unless you lead every single lap, which was just not going to be the case tonight no matter what you did. The driver's leading only under pit cycle, really. But man, what a performance by AJ Stravato. He dominates again for his 8th win of the season. You throw in the All-Star race as well. That's 9 wins in the Below the Double Yellow Cup Series. here in 2020. And can that 48 car be stopped? It sure does not seem like it as he burns it down here on the front stretch. We are going to go to a very quick commercial break and be right back with the post-race interviews. VSPEED is proud to be partnered with Below the Double Yellow podcast, a podcast for NASCAR fans by NASCAR fans. Listen to Nick and Joe discuss all the latest on-track action, available on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. VSPEED is also proud to be broadcasting the Below the Double Yellow 2020 Cup Series, starting July 30th, Thursdays at 8:25 p.m. Eastern Time. And back at the racetrack now, going to be pulling up our race winner, AJ Stravato. This is Adam in the VSPEED booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, AJ, you've done it again. 8th win this season. You lock yourself into the championship finale in probably the most dominating race I've seen here on VSPEED. How'd you do it here tonight? How'd you hold everybody off?
Just taking care of the rear tire right there, man. That was really the key, I think, to this entire setup right there, just saving your rear tires. And, you know, it took me about a half a race, I'd say, to figure out. Once we get that really long run, I kind of started to gap Seth and I think Jeremiah before that caution came out. But definitely took a little bit of practice and getting some laps in right there during the race. But just hitting your marks and being as smooth as you possibly can.
Yeah, and you did that all race long. We saw other drivers struggle, and we saw some good green flag runs. We saw a lot of cautions and chaos, and is your strategy really just be out front, and that's going to be the best way to survive all of it?
Yeah, a lot of chaos was happening pretty much, I think, throughout the field all race. I've kind of learned over time, if you just stay out front and kind of control your own destiny, that's just the best way to kind of go about things. Luckily I didn't lead and get back in traffic and do all that. I've had that happen the past couple of races, getting penalties or getting hit, getting in the pit road, or just something happening where I got to work my way back through. And, that's the danger zone sometimes, but that's racing at the end of the day. Just glad I could have a ventless race, just keep up front and do what I know I can do.
Yeah, and definitely eventless at the front of the field. I think the biggest moment you probably had was when you were 3 wide with the lap car and Eric Gallion, but you ended up surviving that. 197 laps led, and like you said, you controlled your own destiny, which is something that some of these drivers will not have, the benefit of going into Talladega next week. What does it feel like to have that weight off your shoulders, knowing you don't have to, try and survive that race?
Yeah, my goal today was just to really, like I said, control my own destiny, just stay out front, lead as many laps as I can, because I know Talladega, even with the point gap I have going into today, I just wanted to make sure I controlled my own destiny, because Talladega is so unpredictable. I have not had a lot of luck on these plate tracks. I think I've been wrecked out in pretty much every one this year. So, my goal next week is just to get my VMS and LER teammates. Eric, I know had a bad race. That was really unfortunate what happened on that one restart. Just make sure everybody on our team gets into the Final Four and see what we can do from there.
Yes, sir. Definitely doing a great job here tonight, though, for yourself to make it in. And I know you didn't have quite the race you wanted last night in the Winter Series, so you make up for it here tonight with a dominating performance starting on the pole, 197 laps led. Anybody want to give a shout out to before we let you go celebrate?
It's unfortunate what happened yesterday in the race, but definitely Grublets on Ice, TI RACIN, Chris Lewis, all the guys that find me sponsorship. Never would have thought in a million years, like I said, I'd be in this position, but hard work does pay off and practice does pay off. My VMS teammates, Vincent brothers, Mark, first race, I think in the league in a while, and he had a pretty good show and he was up there. And obviously Eric, the Solfridge brothers, I think had a pretty decent run. I think they had some trouble at the very end, but just all the admins in the league, Chris Starling, Zach Smith, all these guys. It's a lot of fun this year. Hopefully we can go into next week, have a good race, and hopefully lock up a championship at Homestead. But definitely got to put in some work and some practice.
Yes, sir. Going to be a lot of fun to see if you can capture it. You're probably, I think you're definitely the favorite. 8 wins is absolutely dominant this season. So congrats on another one here tonight. And go celebrate. We'll catch up with you at Talladega.
For the broadcast, I know you do a great job with these.
Thank you, sir. All right, that was AJ Stravato in another winning position here tonight. He takes home the win at Richmond. Let's go to second place finisher Jeremiah Vincent. Jeremiah Vincent, this is Adam in the VSPEED booth. You got a copy?
Yeah.
Well, Jeremiah, a bit of an up and down race for you here. You survived the madness. That was that second half of the race. You started in third. You lead a lap on your way to a runner-up finish here tonight. Had a shot at it there, actually, in the closing laps. Give us a rundown of the race from your perspective.
Early in the race, I was just trying to buy my time, just stay behind, just see how guys are running, try to save my tires a bit. Because I knew on the long run, I felt a lot better. Felt like it rotated a lot better. I can drive with the corner a little better than some of the other guys. I was running that brake bias to help get that, to save the tires fuel a bit, but it kind of ran into some issue with it because I drove a little harder in turn 3 and I hit Seth, ran up the track and brought out caution. I know he's mad, rightfully so, on that one.
Yeah, definitely a lot of incidents like that here tonight. That one was kind of kicked off a chain of them, but it does happen. It's a short track, I'm sure you guys can work it out, but you did run up front basically all race long. We saw you had the speed last week at the recruitment race as well. Is there something about getting around here that you enjoy with the short tracks?
Yeah, I enjoy it a lot. Like there for a while when they brought this new package at this track and had a little bit bigger spoiler on it, I just did not have it like I used to. But I used to be able to pull off some wins here and there. But now that they chopped down that spoiler, it helps a lot better. Step back in, sliding, do a lot better on the slicker car on a slick track.
Yeah, definitely requires a bit more throttle control, and it seemed like you had that here tonight. No real issues with the back kicking out that I noticed, at least, and a lot of drivers did struggle with that. So definitely had the speed and had the car under control here, which was not something everybody could say every lap, but fun to watch you. We head to Talladega next week. It's going to be your last opportunity to lock yourself into the championship finale. What do you think your chances are out there?
It's a big old crapshoot, to be honest. Anybody that's left in the playoffs right now, they all have a shot at that track. And I've said it like all season long. When it comes down to this round that we're in right now, there's just a guarantee to make it. You gotta win. You gotta win races. And I've unfortunately had too many runner-ups so far. So hopefully, good luck next week. I'd like to work with all my teammates. Hopefully, one of us get a good shot at it. If I don't make it in, hopefully they can fill a spot. AJ, awesome job locking in tonight. He dominated this race all race long.
Yeah, nearly 200 laps led by AJ. He was definitely the car to beat, but you were right up there in the mix. You were keeping pace with him for most of this event. So definitely, a big attaboy there for that. You come home second, though, like you said, put yourself in a better position to try and advance next week. You do lead a lap on your way there to that runner-up. Anybody you want to give a shout-out to before we let you go?
Yeah, I'd like to give a shout out to all the admins that run this league. You guys do a great job. It was a lot of fun. A shout out to my teammates. You guys put on a great run tonight. I know there's some issues here and there, but I think all of us finished in the top 14. Give a shout out to you, Adam. You guys do a great job at VSPEED. And I've got to give another shout out to Seth. I feel really bad about that hit in turn 3.
Yeah. Appreciate you taking the time after the race here, and congrats on second place, and we'll catch you next week at Talladega.
All right, thank you. Have a good one.
You too. And that was Jeremiah Vincent, second place finisher here tonight. Had an up and down race, but ends up right about where he ran for a good portion of the first half. And speaking of up and down, here's a driver who did not really have that. Eric Gallion, this is Adam in the VSPEED booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, Eric, we talked to you early on in this thing. You were very quick all race long. Looks like you kind of lost some of the speed that you had in the very first run. You found it a bit later in the race, though, and you end up here on the podium. Great run from you here tonight. Give us a rundown from your perspective.
Yeah, it's coming into tonight, me being outside the playoff line, I knew I was going to be competitive at this track, but I want to make sure, just first and foremost that I stayed clean, but I felt like I had certainly a top 5 car. And a lot of times you get a lot of restarts like we did tonight. It comes down to getting that jump off the line. And I did some of the times, but then other times I didn't, and that cost me 2 or 3 spots here and there, which was really tough to make up under green. Passing here is difficult.
Yeah, definitely tough to pass with the newer packages that they have on this thing, but you kept the tires on it. Basically all race you were up there in contention to fight for that lead, and you did take it away at one point from AJ. He got it right back from you, but you were the only car, I believe, to pass him under green and take the lead away. So definitely, big props to you for being up there and in contention. That's definitely, got to be a confidence booster.
Yeah, AJ's obviously a very, very fast driver, and somebody that, I watch what he does and try to mimic it as best I can from week to week, because he just has a lot of really good qualities in a fast driver. I was really happy that I was able to make that move, and I did pass him under green, and he got the run on the backstretch and crossed me right back over, which I figured was going to happen, but I wanted to give it a shot. I'd been riding right behind him for so long.
Yeah, and it definitely was an exciting moment in the race. We caught it on the broadcast too, so you're going to have to go back and watch that. It was a good race tonight here from you. You definitely put on a show for us, staying up there in the top 5 and keeping yourself in contention. We head to Talladega next week, where it's kind of anybody's race to win, but what are your thoughts on going out there?
Yeah, going to Talladega is always fun. A lot of times it's allowed. You're just hoping to avoid those wrecks, so you have a good, clean car going to the green, white checkered, and then that's some of the most fun racing that iRacing has to offer. Just before we get out of here, I want to say a quick thanks again, to my wife and my 2 kids, Grace and Quinn, that let me do this every Thursday night. It's a lot of fun for me. It's probably not so as much fun for my wife, and then also, just to my teammates, Eric Lambert and Brandon Vasquez. Brandon and I ran hundreds of laps here over the last few weeks, just practicing and challenging each other, and ultimately, that's the reason I was able to run as fast as I was tonight, because of his help.
That's awesome to hear, and definitely showed tonight. You had the speed. You were up there in contention all race long, so definitely big congratulations on that 3rd place. You already gave your shout-outs, so we'll let you go celebrate here and catch up with you next week at Talladega.
All right, thanks. We'll see you next week.
All right, thank you. And that was Eric Gallion, 3rd place finisher. Ran a strong race, but not as strong as the winner here tonight, AJ Stravato. Dominating performance, his 8th victory of the season. And that's going to lead us to the rest of our results. 12 cautions in tonight's race, 9 total lead changes, and really only 1 under green. And that was AJ Stravato handing it to Eric Gallion, and then handing it right back was the 33. But definitely an exciting race here tonight. All kinds of chaos. Almost all of the playoff drivers involved in something here at some point. But Stravato, the only one to stay clean and green out in front. The number 48 brings it home again. Jeremiah Vincent finishes 2nd in tonight's race. Good points night for him. Eric Gallion, probably his best run of the year. He finishes in the 3rd position. Chris Samard, strong recovery from him. He comes home 4th. Mark Emerson in his debut here. He comes home with a nice solid top 5. Dallas Sullivan somehow powered out a 6th place finish in a car that looked like a modified, but definitely a good run from him. Michael Newman, same situation. He comes home in 7th. Josiah Vincent, also a front-endless car. He finishes in 8th. That's going to be a huge boost for him in the points. He may find himself up towards the top 4 leaving this race. Brandon Vasquez comes home with a nice solid 9th place. And Dennis Steele rounding out the top 10. I think that might be 2 nights in a row for Dennis here on VSPEED. In 11th position, it was Joey Mines, probably his best finish of the season, or one of his best finishes. Nick Starling comes home 12th. Lane Sulfridge 13th. 14th was Lyle Sulfridge. Timothy Emanuele 15th. Seth Hatchell with a disappointing 16th, I'm sure. Safe Ferris 17th position. Eric Lambert 18th. 19th was Alan Dice, also going to be hurt in the points. He'll need to win next week. Thomas Brendel rounds out the top 20. In 21st, it was Eric Hutton taking a hit late there. He is probably going to fall out of the top 4. Brett Sommers in 22nd here tonight. Ryan Gemmel, difficult race for him as well, 23rd position. And Zach Smith rounds out the field in 24th. Well, that is going to do it for our broadcast here tonight. You're going to want to tune in next Wednesday for the Bikes for Tykes charity race that we'll be putting on. More details to come on our social media. And then also next Thursday, the race at Talladega, the finale of this round of the playoffs, where we head to the championship finale the following week. So you're not going to want to miss that. The cutoff race, driver's going to try and make it in with a victory. Could be a wild card into that championship finale that we're not expecting. So definitely don't want to miss that one right here on VSPEED. Check us out on all of these social media outlets for updates throughout the week. And check out what we have to offer over on VSPEED.com, or VSPEEDSim.com rather. We offer broadcasting services as well as design, custom merchandise, and more. So check us out there and see if there's anything that we can do to help you take your iRacing experience to the next level. And want to appreciate everyone who came out tonight to watch. Very interesting, exciting race. And that is going to do it for our broadcast. Let's see who we can jump in with to wrap up here. And I don't know if Mr. Derek Justice... No, looks like we'll jump in with Malik Ray, Mr. Campaign Ray. Great driver, great personality, and enjoy his content. We want to thank you so much again, and have a great night.